The Dodgers are getting close to signing Roki Sasaki. They have made a couple moves that proves that the Dodgers are still favorites to sign the Japanese ace. We get into all that in this edition of Dodgers Digest. Hey, this is Mike Nelson. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the 28% of you, the ones who are watching these videos, who have already hit the sub button. But 71% of you who have not subscribed yet, myself and Brad J, we're bringing you everyday Dodger content. You're not going to find content like this anywhere else on YouTube. We're the best Dodger channel out there, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. Let's get right into it. Of course, this was, a couple hours ago, Francis Romero, a baseball insider, tweeted this out, talking about, the signing, the international, of course, money that the Dodgers have, the international signing pool, is basically what the Dodgers are going to have to use to sign Sasaki. So, basically, they let go of a couple guys, Darrell Morel and Orlando Patino, basically trying to make room for Sasaki. The latest Dodgers international moves hint that they are getting close to good Roki Sasaki news. Of course, earlier this week, Marcos Grunfield's report were asking members of their 2025 international signing class to hold off until 2026 in order to clear space for this year's bonus pool. Basically, the Dodgers are trying to create more money so they could sign Roki Sasaki. That is the whole point of this. The Dodgers currently have $5.1 million in international bonus pool money of a maximum amount of just over $7.5 million. In sending Morel and Patino back to the market and asking other international signings to delay their signing by a year, the Dodgers are trying to squeeze out every dollar they have to make a competitive offer to Sasaki. That is exactly what the Dodgers are doing. Of course, one of their top international prospects, Darrell Morel, ended up going to the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was set to sign for just under $900,000 with the Dodgers, but he's now going to the Pirates for $1.8 million. Of course, that is a significant amount. And Morel, as is being reported, Morel was a 6'5" shortstop prospect, big guy with a big power upside. But the Dodgers let that go because they feel like they are favorites to sign Sasaki, and I think it just shows you how committed they are at this point and how they probably feel with the conversations that they're having with Sasaki, that things are going well if they're going to be willing to sacrifice these players in their international pool, right? So what do you guys think? Comment below. Do you think the Dodgers know something that we don't know yet? Is there some sort of verbal agreement between Sasaki and the Dodgers that just hasn't gone public yet? Because the Dodgers are acting as if they're just clearing out money right now to sign somebody. And there really isn't another international player that we could kind of talk about that the Dodgers would be signing, right? I mean, they just signed one in Kim a little over a week ago. So there really isn't anybody else. So the one guy that everybody knows that's out there is Sasaki, right? And Sasaki, they have to use this pool of money to sign Sasaki, right? It's not like the Dodgers could say, here's $25 million, come to the Dodgers. The Dodgers can't do that. They have to use the money that's there in their pool, and that's why they're just trying to clear out, and try to get these guys, to sign next year. Their prospects. Of course, Morel decided not to, and he's going to Pittsburgh. And, they're willing to give that up, right? They are willing to sacrifice players like that because there probably is some sort of agreement between the Dodgers and Sasaki. I mean, you have to assume that. You have to assume that the Dodgers are, far along in the negotiation process with Sasaki. And you can't be surprised. I mean, the Dodgers, not to be biased, we're all Dodger fans here on this channel, or just baseball fans in general. If you're not a Dodger fan, hit the subscribe button, doesn't matter. But, in general, I think everybody around Major League Baseball has kind of come to the conclusion that the best destination for Roki Sasaki is the Dodgers, right? I mean, it has to be. The Dodgers are world champions. They just won the World Series. They have two already established Major League Baseball stars from Japan in Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Shohei Ohtani. I mean, these two guys, Yamamoto's only been here for a year, but he's a star now. I mean, this guy won the World Series in his first year in LA and in his first year in baseball and Major League Baseball, and he was important for the Dodgers, right? I mean, he would have just remember Yamamoto would have been the pitcher for the Dodgers if Game 6 of the World Series would have happened, right? If the Yankees had not choked like they did in Game 5, Yamamoto would have been the guy in Game 6 at Dodger Stadium, and I think the majority of us were confident, at least I was, that Yamamoto was going to get the job done. And I think we would have been celebrating on that Friday night in LA, a World Series championship. It would have been 2 days later, right? Oh well. But I think we were all confident that Yamamoto was going to get the job done because just the way he was pitching, right? I mean, the guy pitched really good in September, and he pitched great in the playoffs, and became a star basically in 25. And Ohtani, as we know, is baseball's best player. So why wouldn't Sasaki want to join that team, right? I mean, why would he want to go to the San Francisco Giants, who are basically a dumpster fire right now when it comes to a lot of things, especially their pitching? I mean, come on, they're signing Justin Verlander, a pitcher that's basically over the hill for $15 million. I mean, why would he want to join that situation? And then with all the chaos that's going on right now with the San Diego Padres and their ownership, I mean, sure, Yu Darvish is part of that team, and Yu Darvish is an important guy for Sasaki, and it's been reported that Sasaki looks up to, but I just don't buy none of that, and I think the Dodgers wouldn't be acting so aggressive like they are at this time with their prospects. I mean, Morel could potentially be a big star in Major League Baseball, and they just let him go to Pittsburgh, right? They just let him go basically to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's got a good player now, and the Dodgers were, sure, you might say, well, the Dodgers don't need him. They already have a shortstop, right? They got Mookie Betts. They don't need Morel, but you don't know. Morel in 4 or 5 years could be a big star, and you let him go in sacrificing him for signing Sasaki, which the Dodgers are highly, they're being aggressive, right, when it comes to signing Sasaki. They've had their eyes on him for a while, and they are obviously all in on him. I think they expressed that early on. They were one of the first teams to meet with Sasaki. They, of course, have been, a team that I think the Dodgers, of course, have been a destination for players from Japan, right? I mean, now they have, of course, Ohtani. Once they got Ohtani, it kind of opened the door, right? I think a lot of players in Japan, I think, felt, wow, Ohtani went to the Dodgers. I want to go play for that team as well. And I just can't see how Sasaki, he's not going to pass up LA. He's just not. I think he's going to be a Dodger. And I think in the next few days, we're going to get some good news for sure. And we're going to cover it right here on this channel. As always, make sure to subscribe, and let's go Dodgers. Woo!